Hi everyone, and welcome to our video where we will be looking at some exam questions on electronic structure. So our first exam question here states, this question is about group 1 elements. Complete table 1 to show the electronic structure of a potassium atom. So as you can see, we're given the electronic structure for sodium. It has 11 electrons, and that's the electronic structure. Remember, the first shell can hold 2 electrons, the second one holds 8, and then the third one also holds 8. So when we're drawing the electronic structure configuration of potassium, we would have the nucleus in the center. Our first electron shell would hold 2 electrons, just like that. The next one has a maximum capacity of 8, so we would draw 8, just like that. And so far we have drawn in 10 electrons. Then we would need another electron shell. This one can also hold 8 electrons. So far, we have drawn ourselves 16, 18 electrons in total, but we need 19 electrons. So we're going to need to add in another electron shell, and we're going to pop that final electron on that outer shell. So the electronic configuration that we have 2 in the first shell, we have 8 in the next one, we have 8 in the one after that, and then we have 1 in the outer shell. So that's what the electronic structure would be for potassium, 2, 8, 8, 1 for 1 mark. Now moving on to the next question, we've got a 3 marker. It says the electronic structure of a neon atom is shown in figure 2 and it's not correct. Explain what is wrong with the electronic structure, and it's worth 3 marks. So we need to give 3 distinct points to gain those 3 marks. Now straight away, we can see that the innermost electron energy level cannot hold 8 electrons. The innermost electron energy level here can only hold a maximum of 2 electrons. Okay, so that's the first thing which is wrong. The second thing is that on the second energy level, there's 2 little electrons. Okay, so the first one should hold 2. There are too many in the inner shell, and on the outer shell, there's 2 sort of few electrons that you can see. The electrons on the inner one should have been on the outer one. And the third issue that you can see with this is in total, there are 9 electrons. But when you have a look at the periodic table and where neon is placed, and you look at the bottom number of neon, there should be 10 electrons. The atomic number is 10. That means that it has the incorrect number of electrons as well shown in this diagram. There should be 10 electrons, but it's only showing 9 of them. So if we were to put this in terms of a mock scheme answer, this is what you would have to say. Too many electrons in the first energy level or inner shell. So that's what we spotted first. As you can see in the inner energy level, there are 8 electrons, but it can only hold a maximum of 2. The second mark would come from saying too few electrons in the second energy level or the outer shell. As I mentioned, the electrons which are in the innermost energy level, they should be on the outermost, and there's only 1 electron in the outermost. That's too little. And neon does not have 9 electrons, or neon has 10 electrons. That's where your third mark is coming from. Okay, so I would say this is a common exam question, and this is a mock scheme sort of answer that you can learn or put on a flashcard, because this is basically a question that they could put up in a higher tier paper towards the start. Okay, and many people would struggle to understand where the 3 individual marks are coming from. Okay, the next question, it says, why do group 1 elements have similar chemical properties? We have to tick one box. So they have the same number of electron shells, they have the same number of outer shell electrons, or they have the same they have 2 electrons in the first shell. So why do they have similar chemical properties? Remember, group 1 means they all have 1 electron in the outer energy level, and that's what determines their chemical properties. Now, they increase in electron shells as you move down. They always get 1 more electron shell as you move down group 1. They have 2 electrons in the first shell. Well, all of the sort of atoms in the periodic table, all the elements that you can see from lithium going on, you can see that all of them will have 2 electrons. Okay, but they are not all in the same group. So the correct answer there is that they have the same number of outer shell electrons. Okay. Final question. It says the halogens are elements in group 7. Bromine is in group 7. Give the number of electrons in the outer shell of a bromine atom. So as you can see, bromine is in group 7. Groups define how many electrons there will be in the outer shell of the atom. So that means bromine is going to have 7 electrons in its outer shell. Okay. And that's it for this video. I'll wish you guys the best of luck with your GCSEs. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video.